So hi everyone. So hope you all had a fun week. So we'll get into the story where we have left last time. So you know me, I'm Abhi, and my dear friends are the Sun, Mercury, little Mercury, Venus, Earth, Moon, little Moon, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. So what did we see before? We saw what is the size of Saturn, what is its composition, what are the storms doing there, what is the shape of the storm, what is the color that you can see in the sky. All these things we saw, and that was in the episode previously. So what was that last question that was asked by the moon? So it was so fascinated.
Can we write in this
Yeah, we are going to do that.
Jupiter?
Yeah, we are going to do. So it was asking what are the types of moon and what are the number of moons there. So that question was answered by Saturn again, saying that there are around 60 known moons. All these 60 known moons we are going to see today. So what are they? There are many moons, but most of them are very nearby the ring area of the Saturn, and they are very far. Some are even farther, like 30-40 times away from the Saturn's main orbit. So there are things like Pan, Calypso, Pandora, Methone. They are all very chota small moons that are in between the ring of the Saturn. And there are bigger moons, like as if they are in the size of little Mercury. They are like Titan, Enceladus, Thetis, and all these things. In this, the biggest one that you can say is Titan, because we know Titan's atmosphere is very unique because it is consisting of mostly of methane and nitrogen. Whenever there is methane is very rich in carbon element. So we are very practically sure that some kind of chemical reaction is happening in the surface of Titan, which is creating more methane. Methane also happens in Earth. Where it happens, can anybody guess? Somebody, when you have full tummy, you do this. What is this? What is that? After when you have full tummy.
Upper.
Okay. And what is the gas inside that? Oh,
Rice. Rice of taste.
that is full of taste. Yes, that is the.
Carbon dioxide.
No, not carbon dioxide. It is slightly methane. There is a higher concentration of methane in our burp, or now in Tamil we call it as Yepam. Yepathla வந்து we have this concentration of methane. The biggest contributor of methane is pollution that comes out of all the food processing industry. Mostly we can say we take a lot of milk, right? Milk comes from cows. Cows are the biggest producers of methane because they not only chew and give out lot of methane, but they are also further processed for other needs. So this becomes the biggest contributor. There is something that is also similarly happening in the surface of Titan. So Titan has a very big atmosphere of full of methane. How it is known? Because some 30 years back we sent a probe called Huygens Cassini probe that went all the way near Saturn, and it dropped a disk into the surface of Cassini. This is how it looks. So Cassini and Huygens are two brothers who are combined together and they are sent into a spacecraft, and we saw about this a little while back. How does it look? So it went all the way around the earth. So it took three passes. First time it went around the earth, second time it went around Venus, third time it went around Mars, next towards Jupiter and Saturn. So it went round and round in the orbit and reached, after nearly around 7-8 years, it reached the final orbit of Saturn. So this is all the instruments that are there in that spacecraft. This was developed by all the countries, most of the countries in the world. So some around 20 countries joined together to create this spacecraft and send it to Saturn, because Saturn is very unique. Everybody is very curious about knowing all the planet of Saturn and about all the moons of Saturn. So what was found? It was around, there was a total of around 4 years. It took around 75 orbits across the Saturn's atmosphere. It had lot of flyby. Flyby is something like you go very close and you leave. Like how in the next 10 days we are going to see Osiris-Rex going to touch on the comet. And similarly, all these things are happening as we speak across the entire space. So what did they find? They found a lot of information about Titan, what is Saturn made up of, what are its rings made up of, what are the small icy planets that are floating in between, and what is the biggest thing, that is the magnetosphere, that is the all magnetic colors of the Saturn. So first we are going to go very close into the Titan, biggest moon of Saturn. So this is Titan. When you have full color, all the atmosphere in spectrum analysis, we can see this. It is in the almost in the size of a Mercury or a Pluto. It is as big as a planet in our solar system. So what is there? There are a lot of methane is there, a lot of nitrogen is there, a lot of other elements are also there. So it takes nearly around the entire surface. You can also see a lot of rivers, mountains, dunes and everything. How did they see this? They sent a probe. The probe was there. It landed very close to a crater, and that crater had a lot of unique things there. So next we are going to see how does it look when you enter the atmosphere. So this is how it is. So from the main module of the spacecraft, a probe separately got extended and it came that Huygens went close into the Titan's atmosphere. So it dived deep into the atmosphere. It was going for some time. So about 2.5 hours, it was going very deep into the Titan's atmosphere. And slowly they started seeing a lot of mountains. Some 70-kilometer tall mountains are seen. Slowly they started finding methane ice, sharp methane ice. In further, when you go another 20 kilometers, some different kinds of channels, like how rivers are, there are methane rivers are flowing in the surface of Titan. Then even slowly, because it is a very gaseous moon, so it has to go very slow. It is not like in Earth, very dense it is. So it doesn't go swing into the atmosphere. It has to go very slow. For 2.5 hours, it was falling. A small camera that was there in front, which was taking this as a picture, and it was sending it. And it got close to the clouds of Titan, and it got settled on a rocky water ice bed. Most of the scientists thought that Titan will be filled with liquid methane, but unfortunately, where Titan's Huygens probe landed, there were rocky surfaces. So they thought it is high time that we develop it in a floating kind of like a boat. So it landed, and then they started taking photographs. So this was there happening in 2005. So all this information is there now. So what did they find from that? So they found lot of rivers and valleys inside the surface of Titan. They also found lot of other elements that are present in the rocky surface of Titan. And they also found other moons that are very close to the ring of the Saturn. They found Mimas, they found Hyperion, Iapetus. Iapetus is filled with lot of black and white colored snow. So they pictured it, and they found a very small, how we call it, in the shape of squished Italy kind of a moon called Pan. It is in between the rings. It is like in a disc shaped. Then they found.
Sir, your voice is breaking.
My voice is breaking. One second.
Now we can hear you clearly, sir.
Okay. Still it is better. Now it is better.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So all this was happening, and slowly after this, they found all the names for the all the Saturn's moons. So most of this is named after plays of the Shakespeare. Shakespeare has a lot of plays. Most of this is named after the Shakespeare plays. So now coming to the next point. So what we know all about the moons of Saturn. Now we want to know more about it. Moon was very curious. So is there any water in the moons of Saturn? So we are going to find out in the next chapter, because there are moons. I told you there is some kind of white colored ice there. We are going to find that. And what did we saw today? We saw what are the moons of Saturn, what are their names, where was it last visited, and what was the spacecrafts used for finding this. So this is for today. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
Good afternoon, sir.
Abhi, there is a new joining. His name is Vedesh.
Hi Vedesh.
Hi.
Hi. Did you like what you saw today?
He joined just now only, Abhi.
Oh, you just joined just now. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
What
From next
what
class onwards, he'll be on time.
I will share. I will ask Ma'am Shilpa Ma'am to share with you all the previous episodes so that you can see what is happening in the story.
Thank you.
Okay.
Is all the moons of Saturn the same size?
Oh, some of them are very very small. Some of them is the size of only our school bus. Very small moons are there. Some are as big as Mercury or Pluto. Some are very small to the size of a school bus.
Sir, what's the size of Titan?
Size Titan is in the same size of Mercury. Some 14,000 kilometers.
What size of Pluto?
Pluto and Mercury are in the same size, same 14,000 kilometers. Where does space begin? Where does space begin?
How many,
Why is
how
the
many
sky
moons?
dark? I can tell about this in detail. I will share with you an episode because I shared about what is the reason for sky is blue just 2 weeks back. I think most of you can remember that. I will share it with you. I told about the color of the planet, size of the planet, why is it blue, why is it red, what is the need for infrared color, what is ultraviolet. Remember, I showed you flowers in different colors, right? That is the reason
Yes.
why each planet and each sky is different. Oh, I have to ask a question. Okay. Um, what is that idli shaped moon called as? Idli or appam shaped. It's a very small. It's a very small name. It is a very famous uh, children's cartoon character. No, no. Uh, have you heard of Tinkerbell?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who is a friend of Tinkerbell? No, not Fairy. It's not called Fairy. Who is friend of? No, not Elf. Peter Pan. So the name of that moon is called Pan. It's a very small, cute little moon. It is in the shape of our Italy or appam. Which is the biggest moon? that we recently visited?
Titan.
Titan. Very good. Super.
Titan.
Very good.
Titan.
Very good. Very good. So when you are trying to jump in the atmosphere of Titan, how long will it take for you to land? If you take a parachute and jump, how long will it take for you to land on the surface? Okay, 2 hours. Say
If we jump on Titan, how long will it take to reach the surface?
yes, yes,
Us,
yes. Two hours and 30 minutes.
when we jump on Titan,
Ritika, are you asking question?
Are you asking question or are you answering me?
no, sir. I was trying the answer.
Okay, you are trying with your mic with a high sound. Okay. Uh, Similarly, if you try to do the same thing in Earth, nominally it will take just about uh, 20 to 30 minutes to reach the surface. Less than 20 to 30 minutes because our atmosphere is comparatively less denser than that of Titan. There is a
How long?
world record. There is a world record by uh, I forgot the name of the person. He jumped from a spaceship, the outer atmosphere of the Earth, and he jumped towards the Earth without any protection for about nearly 12 to 13 kilometers. After that, he opened the parachute. That too, after a very long time, he opened the parachute. But in Titan's atmosphere, it will take very, very, very long time. You can
If
comfortably float there.
we go from if we go from Earth to Titan, how long will it take?
See, it depends on how you are going. There is no one straight road to Saturn. Saturn is not, say, it is always in one fixed place. Okay. Uh, how long does it take for you to go from your home to your school?
45 minutes.
1 hour.
1 hour for, okay.
20 minutes.
Okay. This is because your school is in one place. It is not moving around. Correct? Your school is always fixed. It is in one place. It is not moving in school. It is not going around anything. Okay. But imagine Earth is moving at one continuous motion across the sun. Saturn or Jupiter is moving across the sun. So they are both moving far, far away from each other. So if you start, both of them has to be at the same line at the same distance. So this is not possible. So what happens? It is like you are getting into a bus driving to the school, but the school is going away from you at a speed even more than the speed of your bus. So like that, many times you have to go around and catch the bus. So what happened? Scientists said, so this is so tough, we can't do it in one go. So they found a method. So that is called orbital velocity. So they go around the planets for 2 3 times and they swing, they get shorter towards the planet. You can also do that if you want. What you can do is you have a very big bucket of water, you put a hand inside and start rotating the water. Okay, and you put two color beads. You have uh, floating beads like something, right? Plastic beads, or you have any colored paper. You put it on each one on the opposite sides. See which one comes closer to the center of the water.
In the solar system, how many moons are there totally?
It is still not counted, but somewhere around 600 moons are there in the entire solar system. But it is not completely calculated because what happens is the first in the first four inner planets there are only about three moons. That is our Earth's moon, Deimos, and Phobos. Venus doesn't have a moon. Mercury doesn't have a moon. But from Jupiter till Neptune, there are at least each planet having at least 100 or more moons. Jupiter, even still they are discovering new and new moons. Uranus they are still finding because they are very very far away, and even that far away their moons look very very small. So it is like you are trying to focus on a very small point at a very fast speed. I can send you the list of all the known moons. Most of them are not even named. You can ask, maybe one day it can be named after you.
How many moons does Neptune and Uranus have?
Combinedly, they have around 140 moons, 70 each.
How many moons does Earth have?
One, naturally only one. Uh, uh, there are other satellites. We call it as satellites. Say there are a lot of satellites that are floating in the sky. Some are used for communication. Some are used for seeing the outer planets. Some are used for other observations. So normally in any point in the sky, if you try to look up, there are at least around 30 to 40 satellites going in the space, and every year some new satellites are getting launched. So many new satellites will contribute more and more moons for our earth.
How will satellites look like?
More satellites.
How do satellites look like?
Satellites, I told you, no, it looks like how what I showed you. It looks like how Cassini and Huygens probe looks like. It is having filled with a lot of solar panel, a central computer, lot of dish antenna. So it looks like that. Yes, sir.
Which clarity will be nice for seeing?
Which clarity is nice for?
She left the meeting.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Maybe she'll come back and ask the question.
Sana and Aryan, you are playing with cameras and mic.
Yeah, I can see.
I can see that.
You're coming very close to the camera.
Yeah, they both will be fighting for the camera.
Does
Not only for
Neptune
astronomy,
have
the
any,
other classes.
Oh, someone is asking a question. What did you ask?
does
Yes, Lakshya.
Neptune have any mountains?
Neptune.
Yes.
Neptune is a gas planet, Kanama. It is not filled with one surface. It is a completely gas planet. It is like how can I say? Have you ever tried to see what is happening inside a big ocean? What is happening inside an ocean? What is inside an ocean? What is filled inside the ocean?
Water.
Okay, what is on the deep inside the surface of the ocean?
Fishes, sharks. Very silent chat.
Okay,
Fish, sharks, and all will be there.
okay, that is because you saw a lot of these things in the Discovery Channel or National Geographic Channel. But
The jellyfish will inside it.
okay, jellyfish is also there. But unfortunately, that is to the maximum depth of our deepest known point is around 22 kilometers. That is the maximum depth that we have gone. But Saturn or Neptune or Uranus is so big. It is like some 8 to 10 times bigger than the Earth. So if you start going deep into the ocean or sky of the Neptune or Saturn or Uranus, it will take you nearly years and years to go inside. So there is still no satellite that has done that. Whichever touches the surface of Neptune will get burned up. It gets suddenly burned, which are because of so much of pressure and temperature. Okay, what happens if you try to hold your breath in the water? Have you gone to a swimming pool?
Yes, Yes.
Okay. What is the maximum depth that you can go in a swimming pool? 2 to 3 feet. Okay. What happens if you go beyond 2 to 3 feet? Have you tried? Well, with okay,
No.
with safety, with putting all the balloon and safety things.
I am floating upside.
Okay. Sometimes I don't know how to swim. So what happens? I will go deep and I have to do this to come up. But what happens? Slowly, something inside my head will start to hurt because of difference in pressure. So my head will start to get squeezed. Oh, it will have so much of pain because water outside is trying to compress my head. Like that, some hundreds and thousands of times more pressure is there in the atmosphere of Neptune. So you can't find anything that is very flat or very mountain things in the surface of Neptune. Too complicated, huh? Too much science for you. Okay, I understand.
Does all the moons of Neptune have mountains and water?
Does all the moons of Neptune? I didn't get your question.
Does all the moons of Neptune have
Have water?
hills?
No, we haven't found it yet. Maybe in the future, when you go big, then they can find it. In 1 second, how much kilometer does Earth move, and how much years will Sun last? Is there any other planet in which humans can live? Okay, this is three questions, so I will answer first two questions so that you can tell me the third question. Okay, answer the third question. First question: in 1 second, how much kilometer? So that is orbital velocity of the Earth. So orbital velocity is equal to that of 9.8 meters per second. Okay, in 1 second, 9.8 kilometers it can turn. And how much years will the sun last? Sun will last for another 5 billion years. So 1 billion is if you put 10, you have to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zero. 8 zeros to form 1 billion. So like that, 5 billion years it can live. And is there any other planet in which humans can live? This is only in regards to humans, correct? What about dogs? What about cats? What about other animals? You don't want to take them.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you want to take them. Okay. So we all our people who live in all the other creatures live in the earth are called as carbon-based creatures. So carbon is there in our bones. It is there in the air we breathe. Everything. But there are also other creatures that are living in the uh, deep of the ocean. Say they take in lot of nitrogen, they take in lot of sodium, all these things. So these elements are found very much in other planets also. Recently they found that there is a presence of phosphine gas in the outer atmospheres of Venus. So there is a speculation that some kind of bacteria is living in the Venus atmosphere. We are not sure. Sometime in the future they are going to send a probe to discover more about it. Is there a center for the universe? Unfortunately, they have not found it, but there has to be a center for the universe. But we don't know where is the center. For the local cluster, we can tell where it is. But for the universe, is the space flat or curved? It doesn't have any shape. Space doesn't have any shape. Uh, where is a black hole? Black hole. There are more black holes in the center of any galaxy. That is one. That is what is giving more energy for the black hole to spin a lot. So all the other stars are moving across this black hole. And in the exact center of our Milky Way galaxy, there are 7 larger chunks of stars, which becomes the black hole cluster. It is enough to fuel the entire Milky Way galaxy. How big is the universe? I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know how big is the universe.
Okay, Abhi. I think kids are more curious to question you.
Okay.
Okay, children, if you have any question, you can put your questions in the group. Okay, it will be answered in the next class. It will
Yes.
be answered in the next class.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And
Yeah.
ma'am, please share them the links for the previous episode so that they can see.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I'll post it in the group, Abhi, so that let them have a view and they can recollect it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Abhi.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Thank you, Abhi. Have a great evening. Bye.